Nilanjan, to give viewers a sense, do you want to just take us through some of the work that you've done? We'll have the camera zoom in so you can show and also compare what you're showing now with how you would have done this in the past. So just explain that and keep the screen towards the camera. Yeah, go on.
See, regulation part. This is what I'm doing now with playing around.
You just made this on DALL-E.
No, in Mid-Journey and Stable Diffusion. So these images, earlier we used to do a lot of things in softwares. So nothing has changed for us. We used to do a software, we used to take 1 hour or 1.5 hours to create one. Now I'm doing it with a prompt within 10 seconds. The time is the...
So what took 1.5 hours now takes 10 seconds?
Yes, that's the difference. Otherwise, I don't think, for the regulation part, I will say, see now the whole world, AI world is governed by top corporates. There are few of them who is running the show. If the regulation could happen now, that should be done on the corporation.
No, but the thing is that let's assume that this image that you've generated has been generated in 10 seconds. You are known as one of the best creative directors in the country, right? Now you have a special set of talent. Now you've got this big machine which is throwing out these images, and someone much junior to you in your team could potentially do the same thing, and possibly someone outside your team could do it as well.
The trick is the how you explain things here. The art is, earlier when you used to do something, graphic design or anything, you have to ideate, you have to create that. Ideate has changed into prompt. My idea is now my prompt. So the way I put things inside the prompt...
But people don't need your level of training to be able to do some of this.
Yes, but there are loopholes also. In that sense, when you're creating something, the whole idea... For instance, there's Rishi Sunak doing a Bollywood dance. That's an idea. I could have do it in a paper, I could have oil painted it, I could put an AI, or I could have put it in a Photoshop software. But I'm doing it through AI. Exactly what I said earlier. It's a tool for us as well. So I think, like Obama, in a Bollywood thing, I will do it in Photoshop if AI was not available, but my idea remains the same. It's the platform for me. One is to understand AI cannot replace us. Somebody who knows AI will replace us. In my case, a designer who understands AI will play around with the visuals and recreate his own idea with it. So in my opinion, I'm not that threatened till now. I don't know what happens in future. A lot of things happening. Tech is going so fast. Everything is changing so fast. I don't know. But now I'm enjoying the ride.
At this moment, you're enjoying the ride. Urvashi Aneja, there's a report out by Goldman Sachs which says that 300 million plus people could potentially lose their jobs on account of AI, and that level of joblessness, if it were to actually happen, is also something the human world isn't ready for. I mean, if there are 300 million people suddenly going jobless or going jobless over a short span of time, that will create pushback in society as well.
Yeah, I think the impact on jobs is real. It's a very serious policy issue that requires much more consideration. But like my colleague was saying right before, I don't think it's as binary as having a job or not having a job. Many of these jobs will change. Many different types of skills will be required. And the people who have those skills may not be the same people who are right now doing those jobs. So there will be some displacement. But I also want to just caution against these kind of narratives which spell mass joblessness and the kind of existential crisis to mankind. I think in some sense they distract from the already real harms that we see happening. So all the data that AI systems are trained on has been labeled and annotated by human beings, and those human beings are typically in less developed countries, working at a very low wage, in very exploitative working conditions, even on things like Stable Diffusion, DALL-E, so on and so forth. There's a lot of content moderation work that takes place, and this is again done by individuals who are repeatedly exposed to horrific and disturbing images and text. So there's already really real harms that we see that are being experienced by people, and we need to focus on those very real harms today and not get swept up with the kind of fear-mongering around AI. I think we have a responsibility to not buy into this narrative around kind of technological determinism, or that there's a certain speed at which technology technology is unfolding and we have no control over that. The speed at which it's unfolding is a result of decisions, it's a result of policies, it's a result of regulation. And in the case of something like ChatGPT, the reason that it's able to, that we see such mass kind of commercialization and so many products out is because the data on which these systems is built has been collected illegally and unethically. So the speed is only because we're not following due process. If we follow proper process...
No, but who enforces that process? How do you ensure that process is actually followed?
Well, that's the role of states, and that's where states have to come in.
But, you know, by the time the states actually understand what's going on, because there are elections they are worried about, there is all kinds of problems that, you know, the state is dealing with at this moment, and while they're looking in a very peripheral fashion at what AI is up to, that concern is not really front and center for most people in government.
It's the role of states, but it's also the role of companies. We do need some amount of self-regulation. We need more debates like this. We need kind of public opinion to build up so that there is a pushback against these technology companies, so that people vote with their feet about what kind of products they want to buy, that they buy products that are safe, that are privacy protecting, that don't cause harms, that have been tested. So there is a role for public education here as well.